Hi, my name's Jo and welcome back to the Knitting Bird. I'm coming to you from a very sunny and hot day in Plymouth Devon. It was a bit of misty rain when I went to take my little girl to school run, but now it's come up lovely, so my washing's out on the line and that'll be all ready this afternoon to peg in and fold up and put away. So today's podcast is all about what I've been knitting on the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, there's no finished objects, but there is 4 whips on the go. 3 big whips and then a small one, which you haven't seen actually. At the end, it will all be a bit about what's been happening in the week. And then last week, I've got a bit of happy mail. Yeah, and more chickens on order. Does it ever stop, the orders? They just don't stop. They just keep coming at the moment. It's just mental, but in a good way. So first things first, I'll show you my socks that I've been knitting on. Now these are just for the car knitting, and I have done that. I've just knitted them in the car. This is the Opal mixtape that I bought when we went to Bristol. And every time we go away somewhere nice, I'm going to try and buy some sock yarn to remind me of where we went. And it will come up like this, knit up like this, and it has knitted up like that. So these socks are for me. Oh, it's lovely yarn. I'm hoping you can see the colours in that, like purples and blues. It's really nice yarn. It's a very woolly wool. It's did I say it was Opal? Yeah, Opal mixtape. And this is how much I've done. I don't like my leg of my sock very long, so I either do 4 inches or 4.5. I'm nearly at 4, so I might just leave it at 4. And then I can get on with the heel flap and gusset. The last pair of socks were for my father-in-law, and he absolutely loved them for Father's Day. He was over the moon. He took them out of the bag, looked at them, and then when we went out in the garden, he took them out again and admired them. So he was really, really happy with his socks, bless him. So yeah, so these are my socks. They're really portable, and it's quite nice when we've been having hot weather just to be knitting on this in the car and nothing anything too big on my lap. So there are my socks. The other thing that I've been knitting on that I've had quite a lot of progress on, and again it's in my Jo's knitting bag, and you can see it's quite filled out now. So this is the Le Puff cardigan. It's a free pattern. And as you can see on there, they're quite puffy sleeves, and I haven't done my sleeves that puffy. I didn't like it like that. I have done the puff, but not as much as that. So here we go. I think I've done nearly 1.5 sleeves. I've been knitting on this while in the evening when the football's on, because I can just knit without looking. I haven't got many stitches on the needles. I think they've got 64 stitches on the needles, and then you increase the stitches. But here is my balloon sleeve. Oh, I haven't. So basically you knit the sleeve to the elbow, which in my case was 8.5 inches. And then you increase 2 stitches every 8th round until it hits your wrist. But the thing is, I was doing it and it got to nearly my wrist, and I wouldn't be able to get to the 80 stitches it requested for my size. So I've basically knitted it down, and I got to 76. Yeah, 76 stitches. Then I knit another 6 rounds just plain knitting, and then I decreased knit two together the whole way around, so you half your stitches, which makes this lovely cinched in sleeve. And I've done 10 rows of ribbon. Because it is a superwash merino, I am a bit wary that it's going to really block out and stretch loads, so it is a little bit shorter than I would do a normal sleeve, but I think it will grow. It is quite clip around my arm, my top of my arm here, and I've only got small arms, so I'm hoping that will block out when I wash it. And then this is my other side of my other sleeve. So I suppose I've done about 4 inches. Oh, I'm super chuffed with that. So by next podcast, you should see that I've got 2 sleeves on the go. Now, I haven't finished the bottom of the cardigan. As you can see, it's still on stitch holders. I was really quite concerned that I was going to run out of wool. Now, they're 50 gram balls, and it is Merino DK Superwash Merino, a Merino blend DK Superwash wool, King Cole, 96% pure new wool and 4% viscose. But because they're 50 gram balls, you will forever change in the balls. So basically what I've done is I've done one sleeve which was a full 50 gram ball, and then I had 27 grams left of the other ball. So I've got 3.5 balls left. So I've started a new ball for this one, and then the other 27 grams will just go on the end of this sleeve. And then all I'll have to do is see what yarn I've got left to increase, because this isn't the length, I like it quite a long cardigan. But for the ribbon, I'm going to match the sleeves by just doing 10 rows of ribbon for the bottom, so it matches. And then I've just got a button band to do, and the button band hasn't got any buttonholes. So I'm super happy with that. I'll show you the back. Oh, I love it. I love the sleeve actually, and I would do that sleeve again. I didn't think I'd like it. I'd normally go for like a normal straight down sleeve, but I do like that. I love the colours of the way it's worked out. So there's the Le Puff. Yeah, lovely pattern. Yeah. So I shall put that in the description box of the Le Puff down below. So the other thing that I've been working on, obviously, is my brother-in-law's Gansey. I'm so chuffed with myself. The last time you've seen it, I think I had like an inch and a half to go, about 10 rows to go. And last Saturday, I managed to complete the back panel. My husband was away on a retirement do, out for the day. And my daughter was home, and she just wanted to be quiet time on a Saturday after all the busyness of her school. So I managed to finish that, and then this week I've done the 3 needle bind off, the little gusset on either side, and now I'm on the neck. So I've done 5 rounds of the neck. So I will show you my Jana Gansey. I'm super happy with this. I'm going to do some more when I come off podcast. So, as you can see here, the stitches are all on the needles, and I've done about 5 rounds of knit 3, purl 3, and I'm hoping you can see. And if not, I'm going to have to put photos in over the top. The 3 needle bind off and a little gusset. Now, this 3, and you can see the little gusset here. And basically what you're doing is you're increasing either side to make that little gusset. It's really, it's so clever, and the 3 needle bind off there on either side, which will then make, which has made the armhole. And I hope you can see that. So that's half of the gusset here, and this is the armhole. So I have to pick up 144 stitches in this armhole. So what I do is I pick up half of the stitches, which is 72, and I pick up from here to the top of here, and then 72 down to the other bit of the gusset. And then all I've got to do is decrease to make the other part of the gusset on every 4th round, and then every 5th round I'm decreasing right down to the elbow, so I'm decreasing all the time. But I am super chuffed with that. Oh, I'm so close to finishing. I seen my sister-in-law, so my brother-in-law's wife, yesterday, and I said to her that I was really close to finishing. So I said, but don't tell him, he doesn't want to know, he doesn't need to know. But what I am going to do is when I finished it, I'm going to show you before block and after blocking. And then I'm going to package it up in a nice little box. Well, it won't be little, but in a nice box, so I can gift it to him. And we're going to have a big reveal. And hopefully he doesn't mind being on my podcast. And he can stand and you can have a photo of my brother-in-law in his Gansey, and apparently he's very excited to be receiving said Gansey. Oh, I'm so chuffed. So where I said about 3 weeks ago, I think I said in a couple of podcasts back that my daughter breaks up for school holidays at the end of July. Well, near the last week of July, she breaks up from school. So my goal was to try and finish this Gansey. I might not be able to block it in time. I might not be able to block it before she breaks up from school, but as long as the knitting's been done, I think I can do it. So I've got 4 weeks to try and complete this Gansey. So no, I'm just giving myself a bit of a challenge to try and get it to where it should be, or to be finished, to be fair. I started it on the 1st of January, so it will take me roughly about 6 months to finish. Now, if I wasn't knitting on other things, it might have been finished by now. So on average, a Gansey normally takes me to 3 or 4 months, depending on the size and depending on how much time I've got to be knitting on it. Because this is such a big Gansey and it's a size 48 inch, it's took a while, and it's like a blanket on my lap. So if it's been hot with our heat wave we've been having, it's too hot to be knitting on Gansey. But I'm really chuffed with that. Yay! So also to let you know the meanings behind the stitches. I'm just going to look at my notes so I don't get this wrong. So these pearl bumps here, along here, means the tides. And then the pattern that goes up here, the moss stitch is hailstones. So this is this bit in the middle. This zigzag stitch here is lightning, and the cable is rope. So I thought I'd give you that information. That's really interesting. I keep forgetting to tell you that. I knew it, but I keep forgetting to tell you. So the zigzag is lightning, and then you've got hailstones. And then this little bit's rope. So good, isn't it? Oh, I love knitting these. Which comes on to, it's a good job that I am knitting them. It's a good job I love knitting them, because I've been working on my son's Gansey as well. So I'll show you that now. Yay! Yeah, super chuffed with that. So just a sec while I just put that down in a safe place. So this is a different colour completely to a navy. A traditional Gansey is navy blue. Obviously you've seen my Gansey, which is a Breton, like a burnt or like a real deep orange. It comes up brighter on screen. My son asked for claret, which is this lovely burgundy colour. Oh, it's lovely. It's really nice to knit with actually, because you can see the stitches. So I go to a couple of knit groups, one on a Monday morning, which is local to me, and another one on a Sunday morning. And what I've been doing is taking the Gansey with me, my son's Gansey with me. My friend has done the ribbon for me just to get me started, and then I've done about ½ an inch of Gansey, and I'm now onto his initials on it. And you do your initials, surname, as you're going around you do the surname and then your first name, and then when you put it on, when somebody's looking at you, the initials are the right way around. So this is going to be a 44 inch. He wants it oversized. He's about 6 foot tall, nearly 6 foot tall. I think he's 5'11". But we measured a jumper. It's one of his favourite jumpers, a short baulk jumper he's got, and this is the size it come out, and he only wants it done for 15 inches. My brother-in-law's was 17 inches. He wanted it longer. Yeah, so I'm really chuffed with that. And I can sit and knit this. You've got your fake seam going on either end here. So it's just knit one, purl one, knit one, all the way up, all the way around, so that you've got like a little garter bump. So that's my son's Gansey. Yeah, really chuffed with that. So as I said, I've been taking it to knit groups and stuff, so because I can just knit around on it and don't have to think about what I'm doing. So that's really good, and he's really happy. He's hoping he'd get it in time for Christmas. And I'm sure it will happen. His is a lot smaller size, and now that's my 4th Gansey. You don't really have to think about the pattern and stuff. It just takes time to knit on it, to be fair. I have got another 4 or 5 on order, but I don't think I'll be starting another one this year. I'll just focus on the 2 that I've got at the moment and try and finish stuff that other stuff that I've cast on. I haven't worked on my Bestie's hoodie for 2 or 3 weeks now. I just haven't had the time. I'm trying to get work done on this Jana Gansey. If you would like to buy the pattern of the Jana Gansey, if you go onto my homepage, and underneath there's a link that you can click, and you'll be able to buy the pattern from there, from the Conscious Sisters, which is who ran the whole project for us back in 2024. So yeah, that's a bit about that. And what I've been listening to as well was I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I'm knitting, and I've been listening to Unholy Murder by Lynda, Plante, and I tell you what, it was a really good book. So I've gone and just clicked and borrowed another book of hers because it was so good. So I do recommend that book. If you like a bit of murder and whodunit, it was really good. So yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. Also, in the sorry about that. My son's just walked through the door to go and he's just come back from the gym to go get ready for work. So a bit about what's been happening the last couple of weeks. I went to knit group on Sunday, and there's 3 of the ladies there I'd already known from the Gansey gathering that I went to knit on my Ganseys for the project. But there was 2 other ladies that I didn't know. And the lady that sat next to me was called Harry, and she was a lovely lady, but she was knitting fisherman's rib she was knitting a jumper, and it was knitting flat, and it was knitted fisherman rib in this lovely soft wool with held with merino. Now I'm not very I've never held 2 yarns like that together before, so and she said, oh no, I've dropped a stitch. But she hadn't dropped 1 stitch, she dropped 2 stitches within the fisherman rib pattern, and it was full fisherman rib all the way over. Now I've never done fisherman rib before, I've heard of it, but I've never knitted it at all before. And she was saying how long she'd been knitting this jumper for. And then she noticed the 2 dropped stitches, and I went, don't, and she was starting to panic a little bit. I said, don't panic, it's fine. I said, have you got a stitch marker? No, I haven't got anything with me. So the whole table was trying to find stitch markers to keep the stitches held. I got up and said, don't worry, I'll be able to help you. Well, at the point I had a cardigan on, and I was getting hotter and hotter, so I took my cardigan off, because I was like, I want to help you. I said, have you ever done dropped a stitch before? No, never. If I've dropped a stitch, I just literally pull the whole thing back. She had, fair play to her, she put a safety line in. I never think about putting safety lines in until it's the last minute, and then think I should have put a safety line in. She put a safety line in, so if I couldn't finish that drop stitch or drop stitches, we could have pulled it back to the safety line. But I said, no, I'm sure I'll be able to help you. Anyway, she'd finished the row, but the drop stitches were at the other end of the row, so she had to knit along in pattern to where it had to be. And then as I was talking about it laddering down, she said, I'm really sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. So I then explained how you ladder down, and then I realised I was in the wrong column of the stitches where it had dropped. So I taught her how to redo it with a crochet hook that someone from the table would let us borrow. And she went, oh, I think I get it now. So I said, right, okay. So re-knit that stitch to whatever it should be. So that was back on the right side needle. And I managed to help her. And it was on a decrease row that happened to be where the drop stitches were. So we pulled that back down, laddered it down, and then I managed to show her how to re-knit it up. She finished the end of the row, which was about 2 or 3 stitches, and she went, oh my God, thank you very much. You fixed it. And I went, oh, phew for that, because I was really nervous that if I hadn't done it correct within pattern, she'd have had to rip all that. It was a good inch or more out, and I didn't want that to happen. But it fixed, and she went, oh my God, thank you very much. I said, you're very welcome. I said, I shall mention you on my podcast. So there you go, Harry, you're on my Knitting Bird podcast. She was a lovely lady, and she did say that she was going to go home and just do a little square and start making mistakes on that little square. So drop a stitch, purl it instead of knit it, and then try and work out, or find some videos. And there is some lovely videos on YouTube about how to pick up stitches and stuff like that. So she said she was going to go home and have a look at that. So yeah, so that was really good, and they were a lovely group of ladies. So I'm going to go again this Sunday because I enjoyed it so much. And Monday I went to my normal knitting group at the community centre, and that was really nice. It was only 3 of us, but it was just nice to just get out of the house and have company while you're knitting and have a bit of chat and see how they are and stuff. So that was really good. What else? Yeah, so yesterday I went out to see my father-in-law. We had some nice lunch out, and my sister-in-law was there, and she asked me kindly if I would knit her an emotional support chicken. And I said, well, of course I can. So I said, but it will be just random colours. And she said, no, that's fine. So I said, right, that's what I'll do. So she's going to get a chicken. And back in lockdown, I had knitted some teddy bears with a face mask on, and it had green like nurses outfits because she was a nurse's outfit, and I did one for my daughter-in-law and I knitted one for my sister-in-law. And Emma said she still keeps it now, and they're moving house and it's pride and place up on the shelf, so she wants a chicken to go with it. So I will insert a picture somewhere along here of the teddy bear that I knitted, because I'd completely forgotten I'd knitted one. So I might see if I can get the pattern out again and just knit some teddy bears, but I've got so much that I need to knit on, it's ridiculous. So, and also because I've had a lot of new subscribers lately, I think I had 12 in the last week, so yeah, I'm blown away with that. Thank you very much. I've said on a previous podcast, if I reach 100 subscribers, you could win an emotional support chicken. Now, it is only for the UK, unfortunately, but the people that don't live in the UK, you're not going to be left out. I'm going to do a Ravelry, pick your own pattern, and I can just send that through a link on email. How, I'm not sure yet, but I will try and find out how to do it. I know Ruth Loves to Knit, she does it on her podcast, so I might just message her and ask her how she does it. That might be a way forward. So yeah, that's it for today, I'm afraid. The plans going forward is just trying to get the neck of the Gansey, of my brother-in-law's Gansey, done, and to get onto sleeves. My le pouf, I would really by next week like the sleeves done and maybe the body. So what I've been doing is knitting on that in the evenings while the football's been on. And now I don't have to keep trying it on because I've written down what I need to do for the second sleeve. It will go quite quickly, so I shall be knitting on that tonight. Socks will just be car knitting, so whenever we go in the car it'll be car knitting. And John's Gansey is going to be knitted on when I go to knit groups. So yeah, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the lovely comments. I had a lovely comment from the lady from Canada that mentioned about my sardine festival, and also said a big thank you to my son who videoed everything in the sardine festival because I didn't take my camera out once. So yeah, big thank you to my son, bless him, well done him. Oh yes, and I did, sorry, I've just remembered, I just looked across. One of my friends that works, that knitted was in my group on the Gansey gathering, called Vicky, has made some stitch markers. And the package come today. Oh, it was so lovely of her. It was the address, I'll cover up my address obviously, but she put Joe Knitting Bird on the envelope, and it was packaged in this lovely paper with a lovely button on it, heart button. Hope you can see that. Oh, how lovely is that? With a little thank you, Joe. And these are it. So I've got acorns and I believe they're made out of resin. And I ordered 2 packs of these, and she gave me 3, bless her. And some of them have got different colours at the bottom of the acorns. So these are going to be my stitch progress keepers. So you can see next week how much I've done on the Gansey and my son's Gansey. And the other ones are Ganseys. Hope you can see that. Oh, how amazing are they? That's definitely going on my Gansey. I love them. Very, very talented. I don't know where I would start with it. So shout out to Vicky. Hello Vicky, she subscribed to my channel. I think she's on her 3rd Gansey now. So yeah, hello Vicky, thank you so much. They're so good. I think she's posted some stuff on her Instagram as well. Yay! So that was a bit of my happy mail. So yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you have a happy and safe week, happy crafting, and hope you enjoy all the nice weather we've been having in the UK. Take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Bye for now.